Good morning, everybody. Today is Thursday, the 10th of June, one of the coldest days we've had this year. It's currently raining, almost midday, and we're struggling to reach 7 degrees. It doesn't seem to be worrying the children any, but certainly for the rest of us, we are feeling the bite of the upcoming winter. We've had a fairly busy fortnight here. We've had a couple of new arrivals in terms of staff here at school. You would have noticed that Miss Kathy Day has joined us in the office for the rest of 2021, supporting our office team. And with Miss Woods, who has recently commenced her maternity leave, leaving our school, certainly for the rest of this year in any case, we have had a new graduate appointed to our school, Mr. Ryan Fletcher, who has been permanently appointed here. He'll be teaching RFF this year. As for next year, that remains to be seen, I guess, but he's a permanent member of our staff, and so we do expect he'll be with us for this foreseeable future. The other things that have happened in the last fortnight is both this Tuesday and Tuesday last week, Miss Mason and Miss Lafu took a group of our dancing students to the Synergy Dance Festival, and as they had to perform for a couple of nights and did a fantastic job, as they always do. And for some of those kids, they had to go and dance on the Tuesday night, and then the very next day had to front up here at 6:30 for a Year 6 excursion to Canberra. So last Wednesday, the Year 6 students, they had to be here, as I said, very, very early indeed, and they headed off towards Canberra and had a 3-day excursion. I've got a couple of photos up here on the screen, which you can have a bit of a look at. So clearly, one of the highlights for us was heading to Questacon. We got to see lightning, do a whole range of science experiments, but as well as that, the kids got to go to see Parliament House, although we didn't get to go inside. The Governor-General did arrive, but we did go to the Senate and to a range of other venues around Canberra. And we had an unexpected surprise on one night. It was very, very cold and very, very rainy, and our plan was to go to do something that was outside, and clearly that wasn't going to work. So Miss Henning was lucky enough to be able to get us into a game of bowling, which meant that on that particular evening, the kids got to go bowling and they weren't really expecting it. So that was pretty good for them. In the last week of term, we're going to be holding parent-teacher interviews for all students across our school, P through 6. What will happen is we'll have an online booking service, and the link's down below, and I'll show you in a minute how that will exactly work. You can book in to meet with your child's teacher, and by using the service, you can make sure that it's convenient with all of your children to get around to all the teachers if necessary. At that meeting, we will be able to provide you with a copy of your child's Semester 1 report, and in that report, it will very clearly show areas in which your child has mastered skills and his learning has really been very competent. It will also show areas in which your child is still working towards a range of skills, and those reports will go home with you. For parents who are unable to attend, reports will go home on the last day of term, and in the case of any absences, we will send them home with the children on the very first day back. Now, I'll just show you a couple of options for getting in. Option number 1 will be to just simply click on the link that is below us right now. And if you do that, you'll end up on the page that's up here on the screen. You just simply have to enter in your email, the parent's name, and if you then follow the details through, it will guide you towards your child's class. The other way you can do it is by doing a Google for schoolinterviews.com.au. You can then click on make a booking, and you need to have a booking code, which is DUHPA. Once you've typed that in, you can press go, and it takes you back to exactly that same page, and you can follow the instructions through. The next Tuesday, we have the start of our NADOC events for 2021. That's quite early compared to when the official NADOC week happens, but due to the school commitments, we have had to actually not just bring the NADOC event forward, but actually split it across 2 days. So next Tuesday, we have a visiting performer coming to school, which we're fairly excited about, as you might imagine. And this group's going to come and help us with a range of activities and cultural experiences, boomerang throwing, song and dance, artefacts, weaponry, bush survival, history, etc. And part of that will culminate in a whole school assembly, which we're going to have in Area 1. Now, because it's outside, and I guess this is also weather permitting, but because it's outside, that means that there'll be no problem with us inviting parents along to that component of the experience. So if you're available next Tuesday afternoon, you'd like to come to school here just before 2 o'clock, you could be involved in our assembly in the afternoon. It will be in Area 1. Of course, there will be the COVID sign-in and visitor requirements, which does slow things down a bit. So we'll have to meet, as we have the last few events, all the way through the fenced area beside the staff car park and get you signed in, but you'd be more than welcome to come, of course. The second part of our NADOC events for this year will occur on the last Thursday of term, and we have the dance troupe coming down from Shelby High, and we have some of our students here who'll be involved in that as well, and they'll be having a dancing presentation for us. Unfortunately, because it's in the hall and we have all the students in the hall and all the staff in the hall, we don't have enough square meterage to ensure social distancing with parents, but we will try to get hold of some photos in the final video of the term. I'll try to include some snapshots so everybody can see what's happened. The other upcoming activity we have is our athletics carnival, which is scheduled for Tuesday, the 22nd of June. Now, we didn't have athletics carnival last year, but a couple of years before that, we'd started heading out to the Blacktown Sports Park, and our plan is to do exactly that same thing this year. All the kids will hop on a bus in the morning. We'll head out to the sports park. There'll be a range of tabloid activities happening in the middle of the arena for the K2 students. The older students will use the field and the track, etc., that goes around the outside. The day's over, we'll head back to school. So the only thing that might stop that is weather like we've got today, but all things going well, that's where we'll be heading out. So we'd expect a note we'll be going home the next day to about that. So please do look out for that. And it's a great opportunity for parents to come along and to join in the fun as well. So other than that, it's been a fairly busy fortnight here at Lethbridge Park Public School, and we do expect the next fortnight will be similarly busy. But for everybody here, we hope you've had a great week. Enjoy your long weekend, and we'll see you next week.